What's happening, guys? Silent Mike, Super Training Gym, Mark Bell's Powercast, checking in again, showing you guys for the first time my real upper body warm-up. I know I dick around a lot, joke around. We did some laps around a bench. We also were doing the Dougie, trying to hit the Quan. But here's a real upper body warm-up. My shoulder's been a little banged up, so I did about 2 or 3 rounds of this. 1 or 2 back movements, some kind of a face pull or pull apart, just for some of that external rotation. That's just fancy talk for putting your hand outwards, kind of. Basically, our pecs, our shoulders all get really tight because we bench so much. So then it'll kind of roll our shoulders forward, pull us in. All I'm trying to do is warm up and pull against that a little bit. Here's just another back variation, a pull down. I like to warm up my entire back. The tighter you can get your back in both the bench, squat, and deadlift, the tighter your lift will be, the cleaner your lift will be. And basically it's just kind of like the platform or foundation for all 3 lifts. In the squat, it's obviously holding the bar. The less the bar moves, the more you can just focus on pushing in a straight bar path. In the deadlift, it's actually kind of still a stabilizer, but the bigger, the stronger the back, the bigger the pull. And in the bench, it is literally the foundation, squeezing your traps together and then kind of driving yourself onto your traps. Just allows stability and a good platform to push from. Look at that, 2 cameras on me, doing 15-pound front delts. Eat your heart out, Phil Heath. I'm a little fluffy right now, not as jacked as I want to be, but it's all for the sake of this meet coming up. This lift was 2 weeks out, I believe. So 2 heavy benches left, 2 heavy squats left. Squats are later in this video, you guys should check it out. Also just showing you guys how I ramp up on the bench. I'm about a 350 to 380 pound bencher. Who knows what I actually am, but just to give you a range, I took the bar for 1 set of 20. I did a bunch of those rounds in between. I took the plate. No one even cares about my camera. How rude. Just standing in front, picking their bellies. I took the plate for about 5 to 10. I go quarter for another 5 to 10. Obviously, this depends on my where I am in training. Right now, obviously, I'm kind of peaking tapering, so I'll do less reps than I typically would. Typically, I might do sets of 10 all the way up, or obviously it depends if it's a heavy day, light day, medium day, what the goal is for the day, what my intent of the workout is. Rocking the Reebok joggers, or as we call them, the fart protectors. If you fart in joggers, they can't seep out the bottom, so they just stay in there. You don't really bug anybody, though. Shoulder pain on this day, a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being my shoulder's going to explode. It was probably like a 6 or 7. It hurt pretty bad, but Jeremy Hamilton, aka Couch, aka J-Ham, just wanted me to do about 315 for some singles. So I think I ended up getting 2 or 3 singles. Here's 225. Doesn't really hurt around here. I can get my back pretty tight, but once it starts to get up about above about 270, 285, it really starts to get pretty angry. I was training pretty much by myself. Everybody else just did a meet. They're kind of chilling, doing whatever they want. My boy Fat Dan, Jacked and Dan, my spotter, I'm having him do a bunch of sets of 10. He's a big kid, he's a strong kid, he's a very explosive kid, but basically, we just got to get some muscle on him. He's 330 pounds, very thick quads, pretty big upper back, but not a jacked upper back. No arms, no pecs, no shoulders. So now we're just going to plug him with volume for a couple of months before he does another meet. Hopefully get some muscle mass on him. Hopefully that turns into potential strength in the long run. Here's 275. Obviously it moves fine, but it's not that heavy for me, you know. That's not really the point. The point is just pain management. Know if you're hurt or if you're injured. If you're actually injured, you probably shouldn't do the movements and you should just chill. If you're hurt, you have to find ways to warm up better, mobilize better, or lift differently to get through the movements. This meet is pretty important to me at this point. I'm only 2 works out. I've spent 8 hard weeks of training, so I'm not just going to give up. 315 moves fine too. Once again, not the point. I'm not testing my strength. I'm not really building strength either, sadly. I'm just trying to maintain this peak. Just touching some heavier weights. I did end up getting 3 singles. Decently speedy. Tried to pause them pretty decent. Tried to wait for the press command. I think Mark even gave me a test command just to see if I could handle it. This is probably just still under an opener, I'd imagine. We'll see. Still hoping for a PR bench. My PR is 351, and that was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So if I get anything over 351, I'll be a happy camper. That's it for this commentary. Enjoy the rest of the vid. I'll see you on Squatter Day. What's happening, guys? Just showing you one of my favorite things to eat. If you don't know, I love ice cream and I love popcorn. It's Friday night. I'm almost exactly 2 weeks out from my powerlifting meet. So last couple days of real heavy lifting. Tomorrow I have a very big, probably the biggest squat session yet. We're going for 515 pounds for an AMRAP, so an all-out set. I got to get my ice cream out one-handed while I'm talking to you guys. Basically, I just want to show you guys a little bit how I prep. We lift at Super Training in the mornings on the weekends. So I think it's actually an old school West Side thing, but and it's super smart. A little bit of a topic that people don't talk about, but training at different times can mess with a lot of people. So what West Side does is has a maximal effort day and their dynamic effort day. One training session upper is normally in the afternoon or night, and then one training session upper would be in the morning weekly, so you get used to both times and used to everything. So we do that at Super Training. Tuesday, Thursdays we train in the afternoon or early evening, anywhere from like 3 to 6, and then weekends is 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, both an upper and lower body session. That made that way more confusing than it is, but I think you guys understand me. So tomorrow, big squat day. Early in the morning, I typically train kind of fasted, I guess. I'll chug some coffee. And I'll have like a protein bar, a Quest bar or something. But I eat a lot the night before. So tonight I'm going to plow one of these guys. If you haven't tried Yasso, it's amazing. I think it's Greek yogurt ice cream or something like that. I don't know. Stats on it are pretty good. I'm feeling good. Shoulders a little beat up, but squat and deadlift are feeling pretty solid, especially for the stiff bar, walked out. Some things that I haven't really done my whole career. The USAPL rules, depth won't really bother me. Knee sleeves feel good. I'm typically compete in wraps. My best squat is 573 in wraps, so hoping to tie or maybe beat that in sleeves. Bench doesn't really bug me. It does take a few pounds off my best lifts, having to keep my head down and feet flat. I think I get a little bit more stability and maybe a little bit more arch when I can tuck my feet way under me. Deadlifts, I think for me, they may play less of a role than many people using a deadlift bar or stiff bar, but it still plays a role. A deadlift bar is easier to pull on for myself. Not only is it thinner, I can grip it harder, but the whip does help. I think it helps everybody, but I do believe it helps me maybe a little bit less, if that makes sense. It doesn't take 50 pounds away from my deadlift, but it may affect a couple pounds. So we'll see how the USAPL meet goes. I am heavy. The weight class is 205 or 231. I'm probably currently anywhere, or I was like 210 to 215, and I didn't want to cut because it was 2-hour weigh-ins, and I just don't really care. I'm not going to break any records. It's not a big deal. I'm just trying to perform my best. But what ended up happening is I ended up eating more, so I'm getting closer and closer to 231. So I'm probably like 215 or 220. I'll weigh in probably really heavy, probably 220 or 225. I just don't really care. After that meet, it's near the holidays, so I'll stay around 220 for a while. Then I'll drop 10 pounds or so probably in the new year just to get back down and maybe do a meet again, depending on scheduling, because it's like Expo season. Now it has its own name, but early 2016, January, February, March, we travel a ton for work, both podcasting and just running different expos. So my training's here and there. Eating will be here and there, but I'll try to get down to maybe 205 or 210, a little more comfortable, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll do a meet at 205 or 198, depending on the federation, depending what I can find. Repping Barbell Brigade, hammering Yasso ice cream all night. Probably watch some TV, chill, relax. I think it's around 4:30 or so. First day I'm touching, in my mind, some real weight. Jeremy had me push on the gas a little bit today, so today's the heaviest day, but for both bench, squat, and deadlift that I've done yet. I had Scott Hisaka join me. He's a weightlifter from Cal Strength, which is about 2 hours away or so from us. Very strong dude. He just wanted to come in and squat. He actually has like a jacked up knee. He has a torn meniscus, I believe, so he can't necessarily do the deep squats that he does to catch the snatch and catch the clean. But he's doing a lot of pulling and a lot of squatting to try to maintain his strength before he gets his knees fixed. There he is in the background, jacked, Hawaiian, Asian looking dude. But he pretty much went toe for toe to me today. He actually hit a big PR. Also, I did as well. His best ever, I think, is 525 or so. He ended up hitting a 535 squat, a nice little grind. On the menu today for me was 450 pounds for a double, 480 pounds for a double, and then I had 515 pounds for as many reps as possible. That's an AMRAP. That's what Jeremy had for me. I'm currently 2 Saturdays away from the meet. So 1 week of training left, then a week to chill, and then that Saturday it's go time. So exactly like 14 days. I was a little nervous going into this, more excited I guess than nervous. This whole training session, training cycle, I haven't really been pounding any caffeine. I haven't been getting hyped up. I've just been doing my work. So for the first warm-up sets, this is a 455. I just chilled, nice and smooth, easy double. Felt fine, was still warming up, so it didn't necessarily feel great, but it felt fine. The 485 still felt fine. Nothing crazy, it just felt fine. Here's Scott take a 455, no belt, no give a shits. He blows it up as well. With the 515, I did drink caffeine on this day. Get a little spicy. I drank a Spike energy drink. I am not sponsored, but that's one of the best energy drinks around. Tastes delicious, tons of caffeine. So I drank a Spike that day. Felt great, and then I got a little fired up for my big squat set. Not all out. I did turn the music up. I chose a jam, but I did not go too crazy with yelling, bashing my head in the wall. I'll save most of that for the meet day or down the road in training if I have another AMRAP set, in which case I may go crazy on that day. We'll see. 485, Smelly, my boy Merman Thurman spotted me just to make sure. I was pretty confident with this weight since I've done it for tons of doubles. Just a couple weeks ago, I did 495 for a bunch. 2 easy doubles. I guess 1 easy double or 2 easy singles is the same as 1 double. Moved fast, moved good. Scott took the same thing. This is creeping in on his max. He threw on a powerlifting belt. A lot of weightlifters can't use that belt because it'll clip as they clean on the way up because they kind of make contact with their hips. But he said for squatting, he never really used one. I was like, dude, this thing's going to feel like $1,000,000. He threw it on, and he loved it. Here's my AMRAP set. 515 pounds. We'll let it play raw. 515 pounds for 6 reps. That's a 3-rep PR. Here's Scott's last set with 535. In hindsight, I maybe cut it a bit short. Maybe didn't do all the set reps that I could. I maybe had 1 and 2 left, but it's all right. Redemptions to come. Another AMRAP set in a couple weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like. I'm out. Let's go!